Okay, okay, here we go. Hi guys, this is VJ, and this is my YouTube channel Phoenix Right On, and this is my second WhatIf video. Actually, a second video in total, and I hope you guys enjoy this. And this WhatIf will be on My Hero Academia and our DC's very own Scarlet Speed source, so power source. Yes, that's right. You guessed it. Speedforce. Yeah, this WhatIf will be on what if Deku had the Speed Force in him. Yes. Before I start the WhatIf, let me, for those of you who don't know who Deku is and who My Hero Academia is, let me just explain that My Hero Academia is a universe where 80% of the population is completely filled with super people. Yes, that's right. 80% of the people over there have superpowers, and the 20% not so much. They're just normal. And even with the 80%, not everyone is superheroing and super villaining and everything. Although there are many of the people, some of them were good, and some of the good people became heroes, and the others, well, basically, you guessed it. Yes, some of them become villain, and added to that, the power boost that they have, they became super villains. And before we start off that, let me explain a little more about the superpowers that they have. It all started a few generations ago in Japan, where a baby, when it was born, it was glowing. It was exuberating a brilliant aura or light emanating from it, and thus this shocked many of the world's population. And soon after that, many people started to manifest certain abilities, and scientists came to understand that um, it was called quirks, and they named the abilities manifesting as quirks. And with each different quirks, you will be able to do different things in your life. Different abilities that you will be having. And such as that, crime began to escalate, as normal people, as in normal criminals, were also be able to develop super quirks, thus giving them superpowers, and thus they leading to the crime of super villainy. And as for our story, but also, although it gave rise to super villainy, they were also super people with not just superpower, but also with brave heart and righteous mind and everything, gave rise to superheroes. These vigilantes grew to become superheroes, a savior against justice and peace and everything. And as years passed by, the world's number one hero was known to be as All Might. Yes, All Might became the number one hero. He had basically a super strength, immense, incredible power than any other hero could ever have. With one punch, he was able to change whether you will know what I mean when the story progresses. And like you see, and as I said before, this My Hero Academia is a very great intense teen superhero animation. For those of you who don't know, I think you might have get a bit of an idea on what I'm talking about. And oh boy, definitely this will be a greatest. This is really a greatest series. And as you already know, some of you may already know, the Flash, he runs really fast. He's from DC Comics, that is, and his power source is the Speed Force, an extra dimensional power source that allows him to travel at superluminal speed beyond superluminal speed and gives him varied other abilities. And here I'm going to combine both of those two elements and make it as something better, I guess, in my own way. And for the protagonist of our show in My Hero Academia, that boy's name is Izuku Midoriya. That's right, Izuku Midoriya. Yeah. And he, among the super people, he is an odd one. Yes, he belongs to the rest of the 20% of the population in My Hero Academia, which means he is quirkless. But he always had the heart of a hero, and no matter what everyone says, he never gave up on his dream to become a hero. And when he was about 4, his mother took him to a quirk doctor for his quirk assessment. There they found out that you can only develop a quirk if that is, if in your leg, I mean in your toe, your pinky toe to be precise, should not have a joint. It should have just grown without a joint. But as in Deku's case, it wasn't the case. He had two joints. That meant he will never manifest a quirk. This shattered Deku's dream. But that didn't completely take away our little young hero's mind of things. He is a very number one fan of All Might. He's a very big fanboy, so he always admires All Might. And just like how, no matter how bad the situation is, as All Might always put up the brave face and the great smile. With the great smile, he saves everyone. That's the kind of hero Izuku always wanted to be. And the reason that I'm calling him Deku is you'll find out. Okay, and as Izuku finds out that he doesn't have any quirk, he still doesn't flounder from his dreams of becoming a hero. One day he goes to the school, and his childhood friend Katsuki Bakugo he is also one of the important character in this WhatIf. Yes, you will know what I mean as the story progresses. And he got a flashy quirk that could explode. Could explode things with his explosive quirk. Mini fireballs, I guess, that could explode. That's the kind of quirk that Bakugo got. And Bakugo, when he asked Izuku about his quirk, Izuku tells him that he doesn't have a quirk. This kind of make Katsuki Bakugo to look down upon Izuku and calls him Deku, which means useless, I guess. But it also means someone who can do anything in Japanese. That's something you should all keep in mind, because as the story progresses, you'll know what it means. And after this, years goes by, and he's being tormented. That is, Izuku is being tormented and being called Deku by everyone, being bullied by everyone because he's quirkless, and they laugh at him since he says that he wants to be a hero someday. This kind of pisses off Bakugo, but he still teases him and makes pull one over him every chance that he gets, along with his bully friends, that is, so-called friends. But Izuku doesn't get bothered by this. He always has a brave heart and a brave face, thinking that one day he will become what he has always dreamt of becoming. That is, a hero who saves everyone with a smile, no matter who it is. That's always been his life's motto. And when they were 15 years old, right about the time they finish off middle school. The teacher in the classroom asks everyone that what they want to become, and then he laughs and says, "Of course, I know that all of you want to join the hero course and become a hero." That is, and this is when Katsuki lunges in and says that, "Don't cut me out with these losers. I'm gonna be aiming for the top. These lack of talentless idiots. I'm not one of them. I'm going to the UA, and UA is the most prestigious hero school in My Hero Academia universe." And as for the and hearing this, the teacher says to Izuku that, "Hey Izuku, don't you want to go to the UA as well? Haven't you applied for the UA as well?" And hearing this angers Bakugo, and he clenches his fists to explode a little mini explosion in the sand. Says, "What? Nerd," he says to Izuku. And then after the classes gets over, Izuku and as the class gets over, Izuku makes a note of everything. I mean, every hero that he could find every day, and he makes a note of their powers, their abilities, and techniques, and how and the weaknesses also, and assess them in his hero journal that he always carries with himself. The day that he came to the school, he saw a hero. His name was Kamui Woods. Yes, he basically can extend himself to make branches of trees that subdues villains. And he also sees Mount Lady, who can turn herself into a giant, basically a giant, and has incredible strength and the size that she is. That's it. And he makes note of it, and he thinks to himself. And after the class is over, Bakugo chimes in and tells Deku that, "So what is it that I hear about you going to the hero course, and that too to the same school that I'm applying? I heard people like you don't get in the school without any quirk." And to which he says, "They have removed those kind of rules from here, Kachan. Yeah, but does not hurt anyone that I try doing it right." "I think you're not getting it. I said you and I are not on the same level. Get it, nerd, Deku." And he takes the hero journal and he blasts it off and throws it out of the window into the fishing pond that is the ground floor. And he warns Deku that maybe there is a way for you to get a quirk though. Tells Bakugo, saying that maybe go near the windowsill and jump off, maybe then, and pray to God that in your next life you'll be born with a quirk. Maybe then you might have a chance of getting a quirk in your next birth. And his goons of Bakugo say, "Gee, Midoriya, at least I thought you had some balls to speak to someone. Yes, you're worthless than anyone else here. You're much worthless than anyone else here." And this kind of pisses off Deku, and he just walks off, picking up his hero journal from the pond and yelling it to himself and at Bakugo silently to himself. And he takes a different route and he goes to the subway tunnel, and there he gets attacked by sludge villain whom was being chased down by All Might himself. All Might pursued the silent, and this, but Deku, little did he notice, he was completely in his head thinking about what Katsuki said and everything, how he is being quirkless, and he's thinking about that, and he did not notice a villain coming on him to attack him, and he lunges on to Zuko and says, "Hey kid, give me your body. I need it. I'm gonna need it." And Zuko didn't have time to react. So as the villain lunges on to him, he completely enters. He tries to enter Izuku's mouth, and he into him through that into him completely, suffocating him. This it makes him to think back to what takes him to think back to what Katsuki said, and he thinks, "Oh, this is how it all ends. Maybe in next life I will be something." When he thinks he is going to pass out, All Might chimes in from the sewer, and "Never fear, cause I am here," says, and and then he gives out the Texas Smash, which obliterates Sludge Villain, and he also saves thus saving Izuku. After this, Izuku is kind of out of it, and All Might waits until the boy wakes up and makes sure that he is okay, and Izuku's jaws drop down to the ground, seeing his favorite hero helped save him, and he is standing before him, and he was overwhelmed, and he thinks of asking for an autograph from All Might, and to which All Might says, before he could even ask, he begins to look for his hero journal, that is, and he finds out that All Might has already signed it, and he tells All Might says, "Hey, young boy, are you alright?" Izuku says, All Might, wait, I need to ask you something." "Okay, if you're alright, then I'm gonna drop off this villain that I'm having contained in the bottle at the police station, and I'm gonna off. See you, young citizen." And as All Might prepares to jump, takes a leap from the ground and goes up to the sky, he notices that Izuku has latched himself onto All Might's leg, and All Might is a bit annoyed and shocked seeing such a fanboy who do such desperate things, and tells him to let go of, and Izuku says that if I let go of you, I'm gonna die. Says, "Oh yeah, that's right. Oh god," says All Might. "Now we have to deal with this. I'm also out of time limit. Yes, guess it better I land on some safe rooftop and let this boy go, and then go to the police station." Yes, and then he lands on a rooftop, and Zuko begins to say how he is quirkless, and everyone teases him, and he asks All Might if he can become a hero even without a quirk. And just as when he asked this, there's a white smoke covering All Might, and from being All Might, he reverts himself to being a Small Might, that is a skinny skeleton like looking person. How he was and how he is right now, he's even much leaner than Midoriya. Seeing this, sharks Midoriya say, "Wow, what the hell? You're not All Might, you're a fraud." And to which All Might says, "No, kid, what you're seeing right now is my true form. That bulky form is something that I keep up to keep up the appearance." Yes, I had no choice but to reveal this to you. And he lifts up his shirt to show a scar and a wound that he explained to Izuku that he got this wound from a villain whom he fought 5 years prior. Because of that, his part of his respiratory system was completely obliterated, and they had and after healing him, this is all he was able to. They were able to do, and due to that, here is heroing time on being the All Might that everyone knows and love is cut shortened, and he can stay on heroing for 3 to 4 hours. That's how much the time limit that he has. And he also tells Izuku not to tell this to anyone, because this would not look good for the symbol of peace, and this will also give the villains the chance to take advantage and everything. And then he also, and to answer your question, young man, no, you can't become a hero without a quirk. If you do want to, and this shatters Midoriya, hearing, and that too hearing from his own idol. And this, after this, he thinks to himself, and also All Might says to Midoriya that if you do still want to help people, you can either become a policeman, a teacher, or a doctor. You can help people by becoming all of those, not just being a hero, because you don't know how much powerful people are out there. Even people with quirks have a tough time dealing, and you, my boy, you don't have any. Don't think of this as a words of discouragement. I am also looking out for you. And with that, he says, and both of them go their separate ways. And before that, and as they're moving, they hear a loud explosion not far away, and both of them reach to the place where it is crowded, and Izuku, while All Might stays behind, and Izuku moves forward, seeing that the same sledge villain that attacked him got loose because of him, and he realizes that after he clinged on to All Might, the bottle that the sledge villain must have been dropped down on him, and he thinks to himself it's all because of him, it's his fault. And All Might thinks that it's his fault but for being so weak that he couldn't protect what he has always been protecting. And damn it, says both of them. And Izuku blames himself for being for making All Might look bad. But as some of the people are saying, isn't that the same villain that All Might was chasing earlier? But hearing this make Izuku much more cussing to himself. Damn it, it's all my fault. Damn it, if I had just some quirk, I could have just saved him. And looking closer at the person that the sledge villain is holding hostage, it is Katsuki Bakugo, his very own childhood friend, and is now bully. And this time, he, without even thinking, his body reacts and he moves on towards where the sledge villain is. As the heroes that were trying to save, assess the situation, save Katsuki, was standing still, as they did not have the right quirk to do what needed to be done. Izuku runs in and he throws his bag at the sledge villain, and thus trying to do something in this. Seeing this, God All Might, I will go beyond my limit. No matter, even a quirkless kid can do that much. I don't care about what happens to my body. Even if my radius was my time limit, I'm gonna save them. And as Izuku throws off his bag towards the sledge villain to make him disorient so that he wouldn't see what Izuku was gonna do, he chimes in and he tries to save Bakugo, and Bakugo says, "Go away, save yourself, Deku. I don't need your help." He says to Izuku, but Izuku with a smile, "I'm gonna save you, Kachan." Yeah, Izuku calls Katsuki Kachan. That's the nickname that he gave him. Yeah, and that's it. And then as the sludge villain is about to attack Izuku. Hey, you kid, it's you! I'm gonna kill you right now, as he says, and begin to attack. All Might chimes in and he punches the sludge villain while grabbing the two boys and make sure that they're safe. And because of Katsuki's power, explosive power, whole place got burned down. Still burning. So with one punch, All Might was able to change the weather to make it rain, and sludge villain to throw off to elsewhere. And Izuku gets blamed for being reckless and everything, and Katsuki gets praised for his quirk, and some of the heroes tells him that maybe he should, after he becomes a hero, he should choose one of their training center as their protege. And All Might moves from the place, and after being scolded by every hero, Izuku walks home, and he's met with Katsuki saying that I didn't need your help. I never did. You are a quirkless loser, and you will never beat me. Just cause you saved me, that doesn't mean that you're better than me. And Izuku says, yeah, you're welcome. Scarfs off Baga and goes, and he thinks to himself, damn it. Even after I try to save everyone, I still get blamed. Well, yes, it's time to give up then. Just as he is about to walk to his home, he is met with All Might once more. Seeing this shocks Midoriya. What? And he tells the young man, you too have the potential to become a hero. I was wrong. You know what every hero has common with them, and while in a situation that you were just right in a while ago, their bodies move on their own before their mind can think. With that being said, even without a quirk, you too can become a hero. And Izuku cries and drops down on his knees and cries and thanks All Might, but you will still need a quirk. And this kind of confuses Deku, and he says, and All Might says to Deku that I will give you my quirk. And this kind of what he, a lot of scenarios run through his mind. Never in my life I have heard a person could transfer his quirk to someone else. And to which All Might explained that how his quirk is called One for All, and how he obtained it. It was passed down to him as a torch from someone else who deemed him worthy, and he has been looking for a successor, and how his time limit is ending, and he definitely needs a successor, and that he chose Midoriya. And he tells him that and he asked Izuku, will you be my successor? And Izuku, like normally, dries off his tears and says, yes, I will. And then Izuku says, what do I have to do? You come to Dagobah Beach by tomorrow. We'll be training for the UA entrance exam, and then for 10 more months we will make sure. And you just come there, and I'll explain everything. I'll explain the rest to you then. And the next day, like All Might said, Izuku goes to Dagobah Beach and waits for All Might, and All Might has already been waiting for him, and he tells him to for him to inherit his quirk, Izuku needs to train his body, since at the state he is right now this would probably kill him. So, and this shocks, because once you inherit my quirk, it's kind of, my quirk is was passed down from many people, and it has a lot of potential, a lot of power. The state that you are in, if your body is not ready, if you use it right away, your whole body could explode. This shocks Deku a bit, and he tells, "Wow, that dangerous? Is your quirk that dangerous?" "Yes, it is, and you have to train your body for that. We are gonna train for as long as it takes. I mean, within the 10-month duration, and I have planned a proper make your body a proper vessel for one for all, and then with the chart sheet that I prepared for you, you'd be able to make it to the top. So right now, so what I had to do?" All Might asks Deku. Izuku, he tells, "First we're gonna clean up this beach. By we I mean you." Deku thinks, "What? Huh, this is gonna be a tough one." But anyway, he bites his tongue, he bites, and then he abides by what All Might said, and he begins to clean up the beach. And then the day goes by, and then it's school day, so he went there for a month and trained, and then after that, a month later, there was a science fair. There was a science fair at science exhibit, where there was a science exhibit, and there the whole class, along with Katsuki, Bakugo, and everyone in Deku's class, had go to a lab named Star Labs. Yes, this is where I'm bringing up Star Labs. Yes, as you see, Star Labs is a part of My Hero World. So Star Labs is there, and as they enter, and Bakugo at this time, after witnessing how Deku chimed in and saved him, everything, he is more pissed off, but he's not that much pissed off, but but he's a little bit pissed off, and he says, "Look at the nerd." Yeah, and his lackeys also tells him to do something about the nerd. He still think of applying for UA and everything, and hearing this makes Bakugo tick. I thought I told you that you are not worth anything, Deku. Why don't you die? This kind of angers Deku, but he still says to Bakugo that someone told me that I too can become a hero. I'm not gonna be your punching bag anymore, Kachan. And he says that to Katsuki's face, and he walks away from here. And during his 1 month training, he has gotten a little bit stronger, but during that time, Star Labs, they entered. The reason that all of them were entering the Star Labs, because the particle accelerator was about to be launched. The students came there with the staff to see how it is being done and the science behind it and blah blah blah. At the same time, there was a thief there who, okay, actually not a thief, there was someone who was trying to, there was someone actually there who was trying to take away something, and running away with a briefcase, and he accidentally bumps into Midoriya. Since he's thinking out loud and walking at the same time, and after that, sorry guys, sorry for that, and walking towards, and got separated from the group and walking into somewhere, and thus he bumped into the guy who had a briefcase, who was wearing a glass, and yeah, and he got bumped into him, and he bumped into the chemicals that they're actually there, and because of that, all the chemicals that some of the chemicals that there were on the racks got over to Midoriya, engulfing him completely, soaked him wet, and he thinks, "Oh, sorry," and he helps the and he helps the man with the picks up the man and give him his briefcase, and they both apologize and they both leave. And then just when and elsewhere, somewhere else in the precinct of the Star Labs, the teacher begins to question Katsuki, where is Midoriya? Why the hell are you asking me? Well, I saw how you do. Well, I know you are responsible for him missing. What's that supposed to mean? Well, you know, every time there is a fight, and every time Midoriya goes elsewhere, wandering off, it's always your fault. You kind of make him do things. Ah, well, if you don't find him, I'm gonna expel you and I'm gonna have to punish you. Alright, fine. I'll find the damn nerd. And he says, and then just as when they were finding and wandering off, then they couldn't find Midoriya. But during the time of the search, they were searching everywhere, and they've and as it is going on, and just after that, the particle accelerator was turned on somehow, and during the time it was actually raining. and and during the time it was actually raining, so it was heavily raining, so they thought of narrowing the search inside the Star Labs. So that was going on. Back elsewhere, this happens, and then elsewhere I mean in the DC universe, during the pre-crisis event. If some of you don't know what Crisis is, please look it up. It's a very great comic book, and it's a very great storyline, and you'll know what I mean after reading it. This will play a great part. Barry Allen, the fastest man alive, is running through a big giant machine that the Anti-Monitor had been using to destroy the multiverse, and to destroy the tower. He runs so fast, and along with the Reverse Flash. In this timeline, the Reverse Flash actually helps Barry because he doesn't want to see no future at all, so he runs along with Barry, and they both get combined speed, kind of destroys the Anti-Monitor tower, and then they both vanish into everything, leaving only but their costume. And Wally holds on to it, and whole thing, and just as when, and back to where the Star Labs of My Hero Academia, just as the particle accelerator is being turned on, it explodes, kind of a little bit, not much bigger explosion like in the CW series, but a little bit of explosion that went inside the vicinity. And by this time, all teacher and everyone has we're kind of still looking for Zuku outside, not inside the freezing. Not inside Star Labs. So after this, they were looking, and they see a bright light coming off from Star Labs, and it stops in a minute, and then they see the light went up to the sky, and pierced into the sky. And just as they see a lightning comes down, it wasn't an ordinary lightning. They saw two lightning come down, and as the accelerators once dark matter went into the sky, that in turn created a kind of a storm that hits Deku, and it was red and yellow lightning that both hit Deku, and since he was already engulfed in chemicals and also in his thought, he didn't react to anything. He didn't have time to react to it, and he was actually completely soaked with the lightning and the chemicals. His clothes were a bit tattered off and burnt, and lightning was flowing bit by bit. No one could notice it completely, but it was there. Remember, like I said, it was two lightnings that was struck him, one red and the other and the other yellow. This will play a great part later in the series. After this, he's being taken to the hospital, and All Might hears about this, and he thinks, "Oh, such a bad luck. Oh, I kid." And he thinks of visiting, and he visits. And later that time, after he's being struck by lightning, the people and seeing the bright light and lightning rain down upon the vicinity that they were just in. The teacher comes in, and they found Izuku Midoriya through the security cam, and then they take him to the hospital. And after that, All Might hears about it, and he thinks, "Oh man, this is not looking good for you, kid." Just after 1 month of training, how much tragedy then that kid can go through, he thinks to himself. And then maybe I should visit him, he thinks. And after this, Izuku Midoriya is hospitalized, and he goes into coma. And this is where I'm going to leave off this part, guys, because it's already been long enough. I think it's been wonderful, but this is where I'm gonna leave off this video. What if Deku was, I mean, so this is where I'm gonna leave off this video. If you want another part, I hope you do want another part, so I'll be making it. So if you have any other suggestion, and if you have any other suggestion for me to improve on this part, please do let me know on the comment section. And I wish you all a good day, good night, and take care. And I will improve this What If as it progresses. And thank you, guys.